All right, good morning. Let me go ahead and call this special meeting of the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District to order. It is Thursday, April 6, 2023. It is 12:02 p.m. and we're located at the RGCGISD Family and Community Engagement Center at Fort Ringgold. For purposes of determining a quorum, let me go ahead and take roll call. Dr. Veronica Barrera, not present. Mr. Lesar Velasquez Jr., not present. Mr. Johnny Pope IV. Present. Mr. Noe Castillo. Present. Mr. Basilio D. Varrial Jr.
Present.
Mr. J. Peña.
Present via Zoom.
Present via Zoom. And myself, Eddie Ramirez. Let the minutes reflect that we do have a quorum to proceed. Section 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Varrial, we help with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Before I proceed to Section 3, we did have a loss of one of our own, another family member, that being Mitzi Olivares. I don't think I have to say too much about who Mitzi is and what she represents and the remarkable person that she is. But she was in our district for 27 years. If I recall correctly, she was the secretary at the GT program, and I believe at curriculum and instruction as well. Served district incredibly well, and besides being a heck of an employee, she was a better person. So, well, if you all will indulge us, let's have a moment of silence on behalf of Mitzi Olivares, please. Thank you all so very much. Section 3, action items. Item number 1 is consider and take possible action on request from business owner Rogelio Sáenz, DBA La Sada Grill, for waiver of the 1,000-foot law, which does not allow him to sell alcoholic beverages. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 1?
Mr. President, I have a conflict so I'm stepping out, and
Okay.
whenever it is, I'll come back.
Very well, Mr. Varela. Let me give Mr. Varela some time to step out. All right. Discussion for discussion purposes, Mr. Salazar. I know there's an ordinance that I received through email. Do you want to explain that to us, please?
Yes, this actually had been on the agenda one time before. I did a little bit of research on it, and I've realized that the city has an ordinance 96-6 from 1996, and that ordinance specifically tracks state law, which does not allow alcoholic beverages within 1,000 feet of a church or a school district. In this case, a school district, the request is to sell alcohol at a restaurant within 1,000 feet, and the city back in 1996 did not allow it for purposes of safety for the city, students, and faculty. And then I went back and I looked at the archives, and in April the 2nd, 1996, the school district, Rio Grande City Consolidated Independent School District at that time, passed a resolution also prohibiting the sale of alcohol within 1,000 feet. And again, this is, the superintendent was, back then, was Ramon Hinojosa. Back then we had Judge Jose Luis Garza, who's now a district judge, Mr. Zárate, Mr. Juan Cantú, Arnulfo Garcia, Jaime Ramirez, Roberto Gonzalez, and this is Francisco Paco Zárate. Those were the school board members, and the superintendent was Ramon Hinojosa. And they had that, so that resolution still stands by the city, it's still active, and then the school district back then made the resolution not to waive. In other words, they don't want alcohol sold within 1,000 feet of our children. That's basically the bottom line. So it's been very consistent. Again, this is up to the school board. But based on the historical background that I've gotten, the issue is if the school district were to waive it, then you set a precedence. And then everybody that wants a liquor license within a school district will say, well, you treated one person differently, so then basically you start selling, or you start allowing alcohol to be sold within 1,000 feet of our children. So for that reason, again, the board can do whatever the board wants to, but legally, recommendation for me is let's follow precedents. The city has not allowed it, the district has not allowed it before, and for purposes of liability, heaven forbid that somebody go have, one beer and goes out of there, and we are having either a football game or a soccer match or a softball match, and somebody gets involved with an accident, and they say, well, where was this person at? Well, they were at the place. Who gave them the license? It's right across the street. And they say, well, this school board gave that waiver. So for those reasons, liability reasons, I don't think it's in the best interest of the safety of our children, our faculty, staff.
And it's my understanding that we've had previous, applications or requests like this, and they've all pretty much been denied for that reason.
Yes, I went back, and in my tenure in the last 4 years, there's been about 3, all have been denied. And then I went back historically, and the school district has never waived 1,000 feet from our children.
Any further discussion required on item 1? All right. Is there a motion on item number 1? I guess I'll make the motion to deny item number 1. Is there a second to that motion? Second, Mr. Pope. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Mr. Peña, I can't see you. Okay.
Just for the record, I've noted the little hand object up.
Gotcha. All right. Let the minutes reflect that that Mr. Varela walked out due to a conflict of interest, and with a vote of 4 in favor of denying item number 1, the motion passes. Can we get Mr. Varela to come back, please? Let the minutes reflect that Mr. Varela is now back on the board, sitting on the board. Item number 2, consider and take possible action on pay request statement number 1 for welding shop addition to Rio Grande City High School payable to Design Group International. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 2?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as presented in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 2 through 6. Is there any discussion required on any of those items?
I just want, real quickly,
Sure.
Mr. Peña, real quick, if there's going to be a what do you call it? A change, or maybe a better word, to the swimming complexes, should we tell, like, for example, we have pay requests for a high school, for swimming pools and stuff, should we tell the gentleman to hold off from here on in, or what do you think we should do?
Yes, sir. As we're going to get to that item, and that item is number 13, once the board approves that, our recommendation, then yes, we would send out notice, to architects, engineers, that as of today, we're asking what the recommendation is on number 13.
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand.
I'll be abstaining on item number 5.
Okay, so it's going to be the same sign for all items except number 5, Mr. Castillo is abstaining, so that motion, item 5 passes with a 4-0 vote.
What was the second? Who
Oh,
made
did I
the
get a
second?
second? Second by
Mr.
Pope, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Pope. All right, item number 7, consider and take possible action on pay request invoices number 3 for wrestling facility and auditorium for Rio Grande City High School payable to Gignac and Associates Architects LLP. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 7?
Mr. President, I move that we approve items 7, 8, 9, 10 as presented in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 7 through 10. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Pope. Any discussion required on any of those items? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand.
Approve, accept item number 4. I abstain from my.
Okay, same sign. It'll be same sign on item 7, 8, and 9. Item 10, Mr. Castillo is abstaining. With a vote of 4-0, motion passes. Item number 11, consider and take possible action on pay request invoice number 1852101-17 for Performing Arts Center payable to the Warren Group Architects Incorporated. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item 11?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 11, 12, 13 as presented in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 11 through 13. Is there a second to that motion? Okay, second by Mr. Pope with some discussion. You may proceed with discussion, Mr. Pope.
Looking at these items, and I'm looking at some pretty big numbers. Wanted to figure out, I think we had discussed it, when we're gonna start getting some type of, orientation as to progress instead of getting billed for, architect design.
Do you want to table that particular motion? We can if you want.
No, I just wanted to figure out.
I just want to note for the record that John's mic is off.
It's on, okay, thank you, Mr. Peña. It's on, okay.
No, it's on.
It's on now.
No, I just wanted to figure out when we're gonna have some type of orientation.
If you recommend a workshop, sir, we can have a workshop at any time. It doesn't have to be during a meeting or before a meeting, it could be any time. So
Perfect.
once, you all advise me, we will set up a orientation.
What number was that, John?
No, it's just basically on all of them, but I guess I would second with the recommendation that we have a workshop within the next couple of weeks.
Maybe before the next regular board meeting, maybe?
Sure, yes, sir.
Let me look at that real quick.
Okay. I mean, there's been many, but here we have 11 and 12.
Wow. Maybe the other thing, Mr. Peña, is every time they put things of this nature, maybe you can put a summary of what we've paid to date, if you understand.
Yes, sir. I do have a handout for you all on all of the different propositions and the amounts. Mr. Ramirez,
Yes, Mr.
may
Peña.
I?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
For the record, we do have our bond counsel on Zoom.
Okay.
I like, maybe we can ask him some questions pertaining to item number 13, just for the record and so we can be here and open.
I agree. Okay.
Mr. Perez, are you available, sir?
Yes, sir, Mr. Peña, here I am.
Good morning, Mr. Perez, or good
Good
afternoon.
morning, gentlemen.
Welcome to our meeting this afternoon. On item
Thank you.
13, sir, we have considered take possible action regarding Proposition B of our district's voted and approved bonds as of May 1st, 2021, specifically to begin the first pool natatorium and the option to build the second natatorium as monies permit. I'd
Correct.
like to ask you, sir, when we went out to the voters, we did put the word in that Proposition B, it was plural, natatoriums, plural. And I had
Right.
had a conversation with you, and you've researched it for us. What was the answer about if we, as a school board and district's administration recommendation to build one, is that possible?
Yes, it's solely up to your discretion. By making it plural, you can build 2 or 3 or 4 if you wanted to. The district can build 1 pool if they want to. You don't need you don't need approval from the Attorney General's office. You don't need approval from anybody, as we had discussed in the past, Mr. Peña. But yeah, if all of a sudden, let's assume that you plan on building two auditoriums, and then in the middle of things, you say, well, you know what, we're just going to build a gigantic one. You can build one. In this case, I assume from what we've been talking is that the cost of construction, the cost of materials and supplies have really gone over the roof, that now you can only really afford to build one, and that's not a problem. I mean, you build one, that's all you can build. You've got money left over, or you can build another one and then finish it out with other local funds. But you can build 1, 2, or 3, whatever is the discretion of the district.
Just, sir, the problem, you hit it right on the numbers, that construction costs have gone through the roof, and what bond issue that we had 2.5, 3 years ago was, I guess, close to $70 million. And in 2 or 3 years ago, that thing can only buy probably $57, $58 million. So it's a difficult situation.
Correct.
But as far as purposes of legality, I mean, everything's being done right. We can use the same funds for one, even though it was, I guess, technically divided by 2 pools?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Perez? No, any other questions, discussion in general? Thank you, Mr. Perez. We appreciate the time, we really do.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. All right, there was a motion by Mr. Varela, it was seconded by Mr. Pope. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand.
You abstaining from item,
I'm waiting on is Jay still with us? Oh, yeah, okay, there you go. All right, so same sign on items 12 and 13. Mr. Noe Castillo is abstaining on item 11, so that one passes with a vote of 4-0. Item 14, consider and take possible action on requisitions of $5,000 and over. Is there a motion or any discussion on item 14?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 14 and 15. Just let me look at the
Sure.
5,000 and over.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion while we pending discussion?
I second.
Second by Mr. Pope. I do want to.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes, go ahead,
we do
Mr.
have
Peña.
an addendum for 5,000 and over, sir?
That is correct. And I also want the minutes to reflect that I know that library books were purchased for 6 different schools, and we have fire inspections being done for all schools as well. So those were listed on there, on the list.
Yeah. So let me rephrase my agenda. I move that approve 14 and 15 as presented in our board packet with the addendum. I think that this is some things that's needed for the cosmetology. So
Yes, sir. So
let me add the addendum that was just presented to it.
there's an amended motion by Mr. Varela. Mr. Pope, you want second the amended motion?
I will second.
Second by Mr. Pope. Any further discussion required?
Let me just take a look.
Yes, sir.
That's fine.
All right. No further discussion required. That being said, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Before I proceed to closed session, though, I think would be remiss not to say how successful the 17th annual the golf tournament was. There cannot be enough thanks to be said. I know it takes a village, literally, to get that done. There's a thanks that got to go across the board: vendors, school personnel, those who participated, those who donated, those who bought tickets, those who contributed the prizes. I mean, there's just so much, and we're always told, change it. It ain't going to be as successful. You're not going to be able to keep this going. And then we hear from other districts how they try to mimic or try to do the same thing, and it's not as successful. So I just wanted Mr. Peña to address that and let the public know just how much money. I know we keep breaking records and making history at RGCGISD, but would you please let us know how, money-wise, how much we were able to collect or gather?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. This school year, we were able to raise $921. So that's a huge improvement. Last year, we were able to raise $180,000. So this year, we topped it again. In the 17 years, it's the highest, amount of funds that we've been able to raise for our seniors. So our seniors will be able to benefit from this scholarship. Again, there is criteria for this scholarship, so it depends. I believe part of the criteria is any student that gains a 90% or higher qualifies. So, this is going to go a long way. So on behalf of our school board of trustees and myself, the high school principals, we would like to thank each and every one of you who helped participate. Mr. Lopez, can you come forward, sir?
Mr. Marin Lopez.
He's, organized this event year after year and been very successful. So we thank you, sir, and the committee for always working very hard, going above and beyond for our students. So thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
I have one question for you, Mr. Lopez. How is it that certain people won all the prizes?
I'm still hearing about it, so.
I'm just joking, sir. Really, on behalf of the whole senior class, the whole community, thank you to you and everybody else, Ms. Robles, Elsa and her staff, everybody who participated. I see Gina, everybody who basically contributed, because it's a group effort. It's not one person that does everything. And thank you for everybody that, the amount, to be able to raise that for kids. I tell everybody tuition right now in any school is $10,000, $12,000. So it's just a little drop, but at least it's something. Yeah. Thank you including you, Marin, and everybody that had something to participate in this event. And happy Easter.
In case he's referring to me winning a few, this is the first year that I actually purchased tickets. For that very reason, I didn't want anybody to say, oh, board members are winning or taking tickets. And I walked in. I'm not going to tell you how much.
We'll talk about how that happened later. Okay?
I'm not going to tell you.
I do have to clear one thing up because everybody thinks that Eddie picked his own name.
I did not.
It was Mr. John Pope that picked Eddie's name there at the end with the.
And I gave it back.
And he did give it back. But a lot of people couldn't see who was picking. It was not Eddie. It was Mr. John Pope.
Remember,
I didn't win anything.
Remember, Marin, they're both attorneys, so watch out.
And when I was walking in, I'm not going to say how much money he was buying with the ticket. So because of that, I said, let me put a third of what he did. And then luck should have it. So, no.
I promise you, there was no way to cheat. I tried.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
All joking aside, great job on behalf of everybody.
Yes.
Mr.
Thank
Castillo.
you.
Mr. Peña, congratulations, and that shows the staff that you have here working at the district. Mr. Lopez, you guys did great. Everybody that took part in this did a great job. I've seen these types of events get together within the city also. It is a lot of work. I don't think people realize how much work it goes into the phone calls. Trying to appease everybody is not easy, and you all know that. But you all did a great job. Son bastantes, so congratulations. It turned out great. You all do everything for the kids, and you are making a difference. You guys are doing God's work, so thank you all for everything, and congratulations.
And again, thank you, everyone. And I'm the one standing up here, but like you all are saying, there's no way to do this without a great team by my side. So they know who they are, and again, we wouldn't be able to do it without a team effort. So thank you again.
Mr. Pope, you want to add anything to that, Mr. Pope?
No, I attended the event. It was a lot of fun. And I just want to thank everybody that participated, also the ones that donated, because, that money is going to a good cause. And I just saw earlier, I know my girlfriend had just booked a class, and I was shocked how expensive school is, or higher education is.
Yep.
So any little effort and any little donation counts.
Yep.
Mr. J. Peña, you want to add anything to that, sir?
Well, I just want to add that there is, in fact, an I in Marin.
What do you
But
think?
congratulations, y'all. You did a fantastic job.
Thank
All right.
you, Jay.
Fell in love. Thank you all. Okay. The board will now convene in closed session in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 through 551.076 and 551.082 to 551.084. The time is 12:27 p.m. All right, we'll reconvene back in open session, section 5 from It is 1:16 PM. On item A, there is no action required. Do I have a motion on item B?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item B and C as discussed in executive session. I believe item D is no action.
That's correct. There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Castillo. All those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carried. Mr. Varela is correct. Item D, there is no action required. So the meeting is hereby adjourned. It is 1:17 PM. Thank you, everybody. Happy Easter.